Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our class session today. Today, we're going to talk about a better way to CMA by using CloudCMA, a BMA, and Uni Bind. Those are the three components we'll be implementing into doing CMAs. I know that right now, competition's pretty steep up there as far as, every listing opportunity you get, you really got to make sure you're doing everything you can to win that listing. I heard from someone this week that they their seller interviewed 5 brokers. A lot, really a lot. And I also heard from someone that they actually interviewed and the person already signed their agreement, but they wanted to interview, make sure that what they made, if they were making the right decision. So just some interesting conversations out there, but I just know that every single opportunity that you get, you want to maximize that opportunity by using every single tool available that you've got, right? So today I'm going to show you guys how I do CMAs. So let me first share my screen. All right, today I'm going to be using Troy's account. He was gracious enough to let me utilize his account to show you guys. So a couple things we need to do first before we jump in and start looking at our comps and everything is we're going to log into CloudCMA. If you've never logged into CloudCMA before, as soon as you click that button, it's going to pop up a box and it's going to want to know your MLS and it's going to know your passwords to your MLS. It's going to ask,
It says fail link to third party.
Oh, for yours, your account might not have access to it.
How am I supposed to help you guys if I don't have access?
Impersonate an account.
I'll impersonate.
Yeah,
yours.
you just impersonate an account. So you're gonna have to input all this information. Did anybody get that box? They first clicked in here?
It's not this.
No, yeah, you're just on the dashboard. So it'd be a pop-up box and a window will come up if it's the first time you've logged in, so.
Oh, or not the first.
Oh.
Yeah.
So. That's on you have to be logged into your My Desk and it's on the desktop of the quick links. So as soon as you're logged in, you'll see it.
And then the code is played on Microsoft.
Yeah, you need your authenticator app.
Slash might not be for me.
Uh-oh.
Pretty-
We'll help you get it.
Okay.
All right, so clicking into the top right-hand corner is your account settings. So clicking in here, this is where you add your profile photo. So you upload that. You can add your custom logo if you have your own logo. Add that in, and it'll automatically place that into some of the pages.
For real.
And then save the profile. Next will be the contact info. If you put in the whole address, it's gonna actually place a map into the info to your contact info in CloudCMA. And your phone number, email, web, and you can add a bunch of different things in here. You also can move these around. You just click, hold, and drag them around to resort them. These are all the different things you can add. Any designations you want to add, you can add in there. Your website, Twitter, your office phone, mobile phone, your LinkedIn, fax, Facebook, email, and then I don't know what a DRE number is. That's something else for different area. And then a blog. Those are all the different things you can do. And then the contact value would be like the hyperlink or the phone number or whatever it may be. But each of these, why you want to make sure you put the whole thing in is that if a client clicks on any of this information that's digital, because CloudCMA is going to be used for print and digital. But the cool thing is that it's all live linked on anything that's digital. So anything that's digital that you send to a client, they literally can call you from it. They can get to your website from it, get to your social media from it. So you do want to make sure you add these things in here. if you put in a partial address, it's actually won't show the map at all. So just be careful with that. That's the one thing, if you're gonna put in the address, to make sure you put the whole thing. All right, next is password. Do not mess with this one at all. If you get an error code, in fact, they fix these mostly. I haven't seen the error happen in quite a while, but if you ever have to update your credentials from the MLS, like if you had to change your password in the Northwest MLS, then you will have to come back to CloudCMA and you will update your password. Don't do it in this one though, because it's actually, this is our custom settings for My Desk has a single sign-in process. So literally, you don't have to log in when you click CloudCMA. You just click the quick link button and it just auto signs you in. So that's a single sign-on technology. So just don't use password. If you had to update it, go right here. This is where you update your Northwest MLS password in the event you changed it. All right, custom pages. These are fantastic. The templates has some basic ones that are already in here. So there's a cover letter that a lot of people like this. It'll automate and actually throw in the branding and the information of who the client is. And it's just a short like message, and then it automates and adds your branding and stuff in there too. So if you want to do that, that's great. You can add that. But the thing that we're going to be utilizing is called something called custom PDF pages. If you include a marketing plan in your CMA to the seller, your win ratios go up to 20 to 25% just from having a marketing plan. There is a marketing action plan that is in here. And this one is just generic, and it literally kind of has some stuff in here. First week, second week, right? So it has some different information. This one, it looks like it's updated a little bit, that maybe Troy might have updated his, but it's a shorter list. I had a newer broker actually win a listing, and she came back and she said, oh my goodness, I won the listing and I need help, because they said that the only reason they chose me was because I was the only broker who included a marketing plan in the CMA. And she was like, I don't even know what that is. Like, I didn't include that. Where is what, can you help me? And I'm like, oh, I know exactly what it was. And it was this marketing action plan.
That's
So,
awesome.
but I'm going to give you guys a little bit better one. And we have a PDF that corporate has, which is a marketing plan. Let me go to the downloads real quick. Let's see. I want to make sure this is the right one. There it is. So there's a 5-step marketing plan that John L. Scott has, and it literally lays out everything on what you can do. So in order to get this into your CloudCMA, we have to add it as a custom pages. So let me, in the chat, I can share this file to you guys, and then after this class, I can send it to everybody. But let me upload the file for people in Zoom. I'm going to do a 5-step marketing plan and send that so you guys can download it there. So any custom page you want, you can add in here. If you have a team, you might want to break out, information of the team and who does what on your team. You can just make the PDF. Don't worry about the branding parts of it. You literally just fill in all that, and you'll be able to just add it straight into the report with the custom pages. And then next is the integrations. So CloudCMA can utilize a couple different things, like you can use your Zillow, your screen name or email address to your Zillow, or if you use Testimonial Tree or Real Satisfied, anybody who uses any of those services, you can add those in there and it'll automate and pull your most recent testimonies. So it's nice to be able to have that. I am not the biggest fan of Zillow, so I don't like, I believe they're a wolf in sheep's clothing. So I really don't like the fact that, our clients are going onto Zillow because they are a real estate company. They're in the MLS. So I really not the biggest fan of using those. I more or less prefer the Google reviews. So what I would do literally is make a custom page for your reviews. And then that way upload it into the custom pages and then use it that way. All right, so billing, you don't have to mess with because you get that through John Scott. So don't mess with any of the other stuff. All right, so next thing I'm gonna do is click onto CMA. So from here, you can click and start creating a report right from CloudCMA, but I'm actually gonna use Matrix and actually find my comps this way. How many people prefer that? You guys prefer to go to Northwest MLS, pull comps first? You do that? So do you guys know that you can actually pull your comps and throw your comps directly from Matrix straight into CloudCMA? There's an easy way to do that. So today I've got a property here. And I got a sample one. Let's see. So whenever someone's like telling me that they want to list their home, the first thing I will do is start the research process. And I'll put in the house number. And I'll put in the street name only. So 180, wait a second, 0 matches. Now add the TH. And we got 1 match. I'll hit search. Here is the property. Okay, it is in Woodinville, 2250 square feet, almost 2 acres. And it's got 4 bedrooms, 2.75 bath. It is a split level. So I always try to get split levels if I can for comps, as close as possible. So what I will do is take this MLS number. Oh, from here, I'll usually like print out the old listing. And I will pull out the tax ID and pull out Realist and print these out. So I've got them with me just to be able to research and see the information on when they bought it, what they say the square footage is. From here, I can even jump and look at King County records. Jump on that hyperlink, look at King County to see what they say about the property. See what it says for the square footage and year built and all that kind of stuff. I just try to just start my process of just the analysis, right? So now that I got the property, close this one. Oops.
30.
All right. So now this is the property. I've got my MLS number copied. Now I'm just gonna do my active, contingent, do all of these. Depending on the time of year, I may extend this date range, which right now we're just upon the very beginning of the spring market. So I might take this out a little bit more, maybe to like 230. And almost select everything for the sale type for sale by owners and seller represented agreements also. And then what I will do is put in the MLS number right here. So this is just a 1/4 mile radius. It's only 3 matches. So I can take a look at the map and see right where we're at. Now from here, I can drag this out a little bit. And let's just see what's over here. There's 1 million. Here's 2,060 square feet. That looks interesting. Check this one, 1.8. That's like a 2-story, 332.50, so about 1,000 square feet bigger. And then this one is right under 1 million. That one, 2,470 square feet, it's pretty close. Drag out, I'll check maybe 1/2 mile. We got a couple more in there. There's a 3 mil. And let's take it out to the 1 mile, which your appraisers will say 1 mile out, right? Within 3 months. That's what they want for the bank. So we got plenty of samples in here. The old school rule of thumb used to be 3, 3, and 3. You wanted 3 actives, 3 pendings, 3 solds. And that's apples to apples, the closest as possible of exactly of what your subject property is. Now, you're gonna come across tons of times where you're never gonna get that. Not only because of there's hardly any actives right now, that's one. But two is that you're gonna definitely come across properties that aren't run-of-the-mill, easy to compare, right? You're gonna have these ones that have giant shops and a pool and RV parking and everything else around it, and, you know, condos. I mean, those are definitely things that you're gonna have to take a lot more time and probably widen your search and do some different things to be able to actually find some good comps. So I want to try to get my split level like I talked about. So go on down and let's go to the style code. If you don't have anything to the additional fields down here, you have to add these with the add and remove and then find style code. Oops. Let's see what kind of split levels we got in that area. Oops. Yeah, it only gives us 4. There's one. That one's under this. That's good for square footage. Lot size is just shy of an acre. This looks very comparable to our subject property though. This one is 1.3 and it's 2140 square feet. This is kind of comparable too, actually. Yeah. And this one, million. This one's a little more, looks kind of updated a tiny bit. Yeah, this is all very, very, very close. Tiny bit under the square footage, tiny bit under the size of the lot. So maybe to get a few more samples in here, we can go ahead and maybe drag out a little more. This whole area definitely has a lot of houses that have acreage in this part of Woodinville. As soon as you kind of get away from the industrial kind of area, then all of these have a little more. So that shows we got 9 samples in here. And I'm gonna come back and we'll go back a tiny bit more. Let's go to 260. And then let's go search. All right, so here's a 1.4, a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller on the size. But this has had some updates. But this is active, right? So we got 1 active, here's a pending. Definitely something a little bit more closer, I know for sure on this one. So definitely taking that one. This one we already looked at, that one's also pending. Check this one, this is a sold. This one looks really bad. Yeah, this one's super dated, old carpet, old deck, old cabinets, old appliances, flooring looks bad. Outside does not look very good. And that literally was on the market for 4 days, but they took 725. That one definitely says bring your tool belt. It's a fixer. Mine is not a fixer, so we're not gonna include this one. This one's a mill. Very close. Yeah, this one's had some updates. little bit more than mine has, but square footage and everything else, it's pretty close, smaller yard. But we're gonna use him. All right, we already looked at that one. And this one, we already looked at. This one, we already looked at. And this is a different one. So let's add some updates. Boy, this is recent. Yeah, this one's had a lot of updates. They've opened it up. Yeah, we've done kitchens.
The ones we had.
Yeah,
No, thank you.
so that one's pretty close on there, but we want to get our price up that much, then we're probably gonna have to look at maybe doing some updates. All right, we got our comps. So get back into single line. Now, the first thing you have to do if you want to do this is you have to make sure you opened up CloudCMA first. You have to use your single sign-on, so your My Desk, log in, open up. Then you're gonna click on your CloudCMA and just click CMA and you're sitting there, right? So I'm gonna go back to Matrix, and now that I've selected the comps, right over here on the very end, it says CloudCMA. There's a CloudCMA button. How many people have seen this and we're like, why is CloudCMA there?
Wait, where is that?
Right here.
Oh, gotcha. Oh.
So in Matrix, be in the single list view, okay? So the single line view. And once your comps are selected, we're gonna click that button one time. And it's gonna pull every single one of our comps right in to the CMA, to CloudCMA.
You know how much time I spend just like typing.
Yeah, a lot of times people either they're like back and forth. I know people print it out and they're like back and forth, typing them in one at a time. Or copying, pasting from two screens or whatever, but
Drop a video in CloudCMA too?
you can make a link in the video, but it won't hold an actual hosted video in it.
Okay.
Yeah, embedded in it.
It's cool.
So it just pulled it in there. So now we're ready to start kind of building out the CMA. There is two different ways to get your comps. There's the quick and dirty, and this is by proximity. And you can click this and automatically find listings near the subject. Get at least 10, only go back a year. If you ever use this, it is okay. Some people like it. It's fast because it's gonna pull everything. I would say the one thing you should do at least is get the square footage range. If you put this in, it will not select items that are like way above the square footage or under the square footage range that you put in there. So at least if you're gonna use this one, I say at least do this box. And it does pretty good.
You said just add the square footage in there?
Yep, just do a square footage range. Like, let's say the house is 2,000 square feet. Then you might want to do 1,500 to 2,500. You know, you're kind of doing 500 under, 500 above it. All right. So the first thing we got to do is put in the client's names. Yes. Oh. All right, put in both. If there's, more than one seller, put both their names in there because this is gonna put their names into the actual presentation. Next, we gotta put in the address. Don't paste in the address. You wanna type it in and let Google Maps find it. So you see it found it, so we'll select that, and then it's actually gonna throw in everything that it finds on the county. Okay, it has it by square footage, beds, bath. Bath says a little bit different from what the Northwest MLS had. So things like that, you're gonna have to like obviously talk with the seller, figure out, okay, what's, how many baths do they really have? So you can override it and just type in what it is. Property subtype. Right, residential. You can add the additional information. If you want. If you're ever like, oh, what's that MLS area? I'll show you guys a cheat way to find the MLS area for anything. Wherever you're at, just go to the map in Matrix. And you see how we're right here? Go up here, this is called layers. This little icon looks like 3 stacks of paper. Click this and select MLS areas. And click it again. And you can zoom on out. And you can actually see where the property fits in MLS areas. So this is in area 600. If you're ever really close to the line of another MLS area, you can actually double list your property. There's a double listing form in Northwest MLS. All you got to do is fill it out, put the other MLS area that the MLS will duplicate the listing into, and you'll actually get both listings in there. Because some brokers literally, they still set up their clients on MLS areas for searches. They will just do, oh no, my client wants to own in area 610. All of a sudden, you got a property so close to area 600, they're not even sending your listing to that client. So it is definitely a good way. Another thing you can do is sometimes you got like a property that's got like what's one of the things that you'll double list on? Maybe it's vacant land, it's got an extra lot. Well, now you can list the lot with the house and you can double list it. So you can do that as well if you don't want to do both the inputs. And it costs $50 to do that. That's it. But it's definitely can be well worth it. All right, so ours was what,
Can you add a picture in there where it says add the photo?
Yep, we're gonna get there. So if you want to put the subdivision, you can. It's a split level. Okay, so next is add a cover photo. If you're a broker that goes and does a 2-step, that's where you go to the house first, assess the property, look at it, look at everything, take notes, talk to the seller, interview them, say, hey, today's, appointment is only so I can gather information, and then I can, go and find the proper comps to match to what your home is, what your home looks like. And I don't know, I'm always been, as much as possible, I try to always do a 2-step. Some people are like, nope, I'm a 1-step, one and done. It doesn't matter. It's your own personal preference. It's just however you want to do business. But if you do get the chance to get the front photo before you go inside the house, right when you get to the listing, take out your phone and get a landscape photo. Don't do straight up and down portrait. You want to turn it sideways and just get a front picture, current photo of the house. Because it's pretty impactful when a seller gets that full actual Uni Bind and they go and they open this book up and the first thing they look at is a recent actual photo of their house. It shows a lot more detail and also shows that, they're going to recognize that's the actual condition of their home because it's, a recent photo. And not many other brokers may not do that. So there's one additional thing that you're doing that everyone else is not. So take a front photo. The one thing I will say though, is be careful. Your phones now are taking super duper high res images. Just make sure when you forward it to yourself, it's do the smaller size. Because this, I think max is like 5 megabytes is a max. If you do not add this cover photo of the house, it actually is only going to do a map overview. This is going to be an up and down kind of bird's eye view of the area. That's it. There's another thing you can do. This house is going to be hard to kind of do this with, but when we went to that old listing, right, I can zoom in here. right? This one's back kind of far from the street. So here's, if we're lucky to get street view in here, we probably will not even get to see the house. Because it's back pretty far, right? So you could use Google Street View. So you could just take the address, copy the address, and then go to either Google Earth, Google Maps. And we'll just search the address. Go to Washington, go to the maps. Okay. And turn on layers. And then grab the little guy to browse street view. Yeah, it only goes right to that edge. So this one probably won't be the best example, but you can kind of angle. Well, yeah, you won't be able to. You can actually zoom in on your wheel from the mouse. And I think if I close this, will I get rid of, oops. I just messed it up. Actually, I closed it. Oh, where did it go? Just for the sake of time, I'm gonna say, like, let's pretend, here, we'll just find a house that looks okay here. So you can basically position the house on the screen and then use your snipping tool. So if you type SNIPPING, grab your snipping tool, and then you can do a new snip and basically, oops. Okay, now it messed it up. But basically you can just click, drag, and now save the image of like Google Street View. You can do that as well. So that's just a little quick tip. So for sake of time, I'm gonna take the old listing image. All right, save the image as. And put this in downloads real quick. All right, back to CloudCMA, add the cover photo. And here's our listing. Crop, say okay. If you get an error and it messes this up, that means this file is too large of a file. So just remember, keep it a small file. All right, so let's fetch the listings. All right, it's gonna show you right where the subject property is in the middle here. Here's all of our comps surrounding around it. So we have pendings, 2 pendings, 5 sold, no active that I got for a comp. What, if you needed to add anything, the cool thing is that you can actually go in, find your other comp that you want to use. Go back. Ooh, actually, let me close this one. Out. Criteria real quick. And let's do actives only. Let's try to find one active for our. And let's get out a little farther. All right, there's one right here. Oh, that's a good one, actually. So if we needed to go in and add another comp, this one's a tiny bit bigger and this is the one that was updated. So we'll show them like what people are getting when they're updating. Take that MLS number And inside the list of your listings, at the very bottom, it says add a listing. Here you can actually do the MLS number or address. So let's just do the MLS number. And then add. And now we've added in another listing. Okay, so by default, it listed in the order of solds, pended to active. You can reverse this if you want. So you could do it by list date, price, sold date, price, any of that. I'm gonna choose status. And then from here, you can go active to pendings to solds or vice versa. That's all personal preference. If you like to show the solds first, I like talking about the competition first, so I'm gonna arrange mine to actives. All right, so we're ready to actually start customizing our CloudCMA. We're gonna hit the next button. Okay, now we're in the customization portion of the CloudCMA. By default, sometimes the system, during certain times, it may not have selected the John L. Scott themes, but you can go in here and click on the themes. And at the very top is two different reports. They have the John L. Scott version, and then anybody doing any luxury, you can grab the Exceptional Homes luxury version of CloudCMA. Don't forget though, that in like the east side, that's 2 million and up. For South King County, that's 1 million, or wait, no, it's 1.5 and up. 1.5 million and up now. They changed the pricing. So we're gonna choose John L. Scott. Choose this theme. If you do this, you get access to more pages of items. And that's going to do all your branding and add additional items. So the first thing we have to do is, when you look at this, look at how many pages it has at first. There's just, it just does this because they didn't want anybody to not have anything in there. So this obviously would be way too many pages, and it has items in here that has nothing to do with the area that we're working on. So the first thing here is housing forecast for Boise. As I roll over my mouse on here and you see it turns to a hand, I can click on it and it'll actually load a preview. So this is the housing forecast page. We don't need that. So we're gonna highlight it again, go to the left and hit the minus symbol to take it out. We're gonna do that to all of these items. The housing forecasts are absolutely amazing, but they are definitely something that they're seasonal and they've got a short shelf life. Realistically, you should not be giving those to any clients as soon as you hit like May. I mean, basically by the time you're in April, that's the last you should be using them. You can't really give a forecast and then all of a sudden you're in the middle of the actual year of what it's trying to guess what the forecast is gonna be. It just doesn't work. But these are great items to definitely give your clients at the beginning of the year, every single year. Lennox and the entire analytical team do an amazing job actually going through the numbers and the data and the information about each of these markets. And they're all different. So let's get rid of all of this stuff, because we don't want this to be in our main report. Get all of these housing forecasts. So we're going to keep minusing all of these. Don't worry, we're going to set a template, and soon it'll be the permanent template that we utilize every single time we do a CMA. All right, we're gonna get rid of some of these. This also has the brand new seller guide pages in here. Steps to getting your home sold. So identify your priorities, market ready day one, comprehensive marketing approach, pricing your home, understanding the transaction process, a successful negotiation from start to close, the home seller journey. So this has some different things in here. I do like this page. I'd almost take this one page maybe and make it a custom page and add it by itself. but for now, we're actually getting rid of that. Getting rid of all of these ones. The thank you, the title. All right, the very first page you should have is the contact me. This should be, or excuse me. Where is it? Oh, no. Oh, no, that's the cover. So the custom cover letters, you can add that. Agent resume, I don't know if Troy customized this. Yeah, these are old.
Yeah, if I put them on blast.
Hey, well, you left it. It's left in there. It's left in there. Hey, I'm fixing it up for him.
Reminder.
Yeah.
Damn.
We're gonna get rid of those. We don't need the company. Yes. I'm missing the I might have accidentally clicked it so fast, I may have actually removed the first one, so it should be introduction. Oh, title page. That's the one we need. All right, so title page, we definitely need to have in there. I removed it too quick. What is a CMA? If you ever have a client that's first-time home seller, that might be one you add in there. So the first one should be title page. Click this one, it's gonna show the comparative market analysis, the front photo you took, hopefully, property address, and then who it's prepared for, the sellers, and it actually will date whatever day it is today. So it automates and adds in all your contact info and branding and all of this. Okay? Now, the second page is the contact me. This should have your information. It will generate a QR code that will work as soon as we publish this report. It will be digital. It will show a map area, and then it adds in your logo. We might later on maybe fix this and make a different background, Elizabeth, for Troy, to get that to look a little bit better, because it's transparent, so we'll fix that. All right, so let's go ahead, and the next thing is the map of all listings. So it's gonna show comps all the way around. What type of comp is it? The solds are red, orange is pendings, the green is active, and the purple with the star is your subject property. And automate and put those in the order in which we changed it in. So you're definitely gonna have these. And then the summary of the comparables. This is great because it actually gives the summary of the averages of everything. So it shows the averages of the solds, average of the pendings right now, and we only have one active. Next will be the details to each listing. Okay, this one has front photos, inside photos, all the remarks, and it shows what MLS number, how many days they've been on the market, how many square footage, all the detailed information. And then you got the photos. So it shows the good samples of the inside. Depending on the number of comps is all gonna probably come down to like what you would use the additional photos for. If they uploaded all 40 photos, that's gonna give you literally 4 pages per comp.
Jeez.
Which is a lot. If you use a lot of comps, that's gonna be a lot of pages for a report, and I don't know if I would do it. Most of the time, I literally keep it as photos, because most brokers organize their photos and they put the best towards the front always. I never use adjustments. That's for an appraiser. I get rid of that. Next is the comparable property statistics. This one's a really good one. It shows you kind of like breakdowns of the pendings, actives, and the solds. And it shows which address is, what pricing they kind of came in at. So at a glance, you could see it a little bit easier. And then I really love this online valuation analysis. At Tom Ferry, he talked about making sure you do this before you go and list the property. Do you guys remember why? Why did he say that? Why would you want to pull what Zillow says about your seller's house before you even list it and print it out?
Because they'll be going, but Zillow says,
Hmm, there was something else.
Zillow's gonna change the price based on your listing.
That's right. The algorithm has been changed because they are tired of everyone saying, oh, look, Zillow was off 19%. That doesn't look good for them, right? Their estimate was 996. They sold for 1.23 million. But it could be swinging the other way too. They thought it was 1.78 and then actually sold for 114, 1140. So get it before, because you will actually have something that's probably a wider gap. Because as soon as you do list the property, the algorithm tells it will change, and it actually tells the system to get as close to the list price as possible. So they'll automatically change this estimate when you list it. So it's a good idea, print it out before.
In my
But this-
experience, it goes up after you list too, like the first 2 weeks. I had the seller who was like, look, it's going up, this is the, so it's, and then if you don't sell it within 2 to 3 weeks, it starts, descending.
Mhm. Yeah, so it's a really good idea to do that. And you'll see them, it'll fluctuate a lot more. But you definitely should print both this estimate and Redfin, maybe Realtor.com. But I'm gonna show you guys a little bit something later when we get to the BMA portion. We're still in the CMA. All right. Sold property analysis is important, this one as well, because it gives obviously the averages of the sold, and then the cool thing it says is your square foot average. Okay. Oh, and I forgot one thing. Buyer market analysis. This does have a different BMA based off of the system. I don't like this one. It does not show as much of the detailed information as you get from doing the BMA, which is a buyer market analysis in the back end of your buy side. So we're going to eliminate this one, but I wanted to at least let you guys see what it is. So as soon as you click on it, it's kind of generating in the background, or it's trying to. Maybe it won't. We're going to get rid of that one anyway. Suggested list price. So analysis of the property says 1449. This gives you a projected value based on the listing, right? So it shows your projected sale. I have to check this because I don't remember if I typed anything in there. Seller's net sheet, this one's terrible. Don't ever use that one. Use the seller net proceeds either from your what is that? The app. There's an app you can use that has one, or just use the matrix tools. Marketing action plan. Remove that one. We're gonna add our custom page. Why you need a real estate professional. This one, I don't know. I guess if you're trying to convince somebody, maybe a for sale by owner, I would use this. Intelligent pricing and timing is very important. You definitely want to have that. You want to list as close as to market value as possible. First impressions are lasting. This one's kind of We're going to remove him. Showings on an open house checklist. No. Moving checklist. No. Features that sell. Maybe. If you're trying to convince the seller to do more updates, then I would probably use that one. Selling your home in a tough market, get rid of that. Negotiating with buyers, get rid of that. What's a short sale? Get rid of that. Online home values in your home. This one's, you'll be able to explain this a lot better than having that in there. how CMAs vary, get rid of that. CMAs versus appraisals, get rid of that. Client testimonials, I don't think Troy had that one. Oh, he does. Well, he made it to where he'd made his own custom page, so. This is a good one. I mean, having client testimonials will help. But just know that most of the time, if you're sitting in front of a seller, they've already done their homework. Most of the time, they've checked out your Zillow profile, they've checked out maybe your homes.com profile, they've checked your website and Google reviews. I mean, those are the type of things clients will go to before actually going and making an appointment. So if you're gonna use this one, we'll move it up to the top and we'll put this after the contact me. Okay. Value of your home, short sales, and get rid of that. Intelligent pricing and timing, that one's definitely good. And the value of your home. That one's okay. Okay, so we need to add our custom pages. So go down here. Here's that 5-step marketing plan. All right, we want to increase our win ratios 20 to 25%. So let's add this. And I usually put this in right about past the list price to talk about what you're going to do for the listing. So before I actually make this one a permanent one, I want to show you guys one more thing. So I'm going to kind of skip ahead for a second. I'm going to hit publish. We're going to leave it like this for a second.
Customers like that for each CMA, or is that
Nope.
like a
Soon I'm gonna show you guys how to make this a template to make it to where it's the same every single time. All right, so it's already done. I'm gonna go backwards for a second. Go back to listings. If you are in the list view, you've already been to the house, you already know what value range you're gonna put. If you just put one set price, it's just gonna put one price. I was always taught to put a value range to be able to talk to the seller and say, hey, if we do these updates, we spend some money, get this, I think we could get more towards this higher pricing. You know, here's the value range, maybe as is, right in the middle. Or if you don't, you don't want to do nothing, then here's the price. So it's always best to put in a value range. So if we do this, it's actually going to show into the report. So we'll do, I know this one's going to be about a million, 1. And we will do 1 and 1 2 if they do the work. I know that's $100,000 spread. Maybe I can tighten that up. Let's actually change this one. Let's do 1,050,000 because this is pretty dang accurate to this. So we'll hit customize. So it's going to take us back to that same thing. Now that I published the report once, it kept the same things in here. But we're going to make this a permanent template. So first thing I want to look at, make sure that suggested list price is right with the value range. There we go. Okay. So now that it's in there, I'm going to look at this. So first thing it is the theme, your layout, 2 photos. That's the one we have selected. Next is our template. It says default template. I'm going to select it. Let's go custom. And we're going to say save as a template. And I want you to write in all lowercase web lead. So if it says web lead, that's a default template to the old online. If someone went to your CloudCMA valuation page, it will automate and make this CMA template the permanent template on that too. So that's why we call it web lead. So once we did that, just hit the X you'll see it says web lead. Now we will publish this report. All right, so now that that's done, let's view our CMA. I'm gonna shrink that so you guys can see. So, yeah, it's 29 pages. How we print this is in color, double-sided on the nice flyer CMA paper. So that's how we're gonna print these. The cool thing is, like, take your phones out and you can actually take and scan the QR code. Go ahead and scan it, you guys. It's actually making this exact same report is going to be right digital. So what I love to do is whenever I'm doing an open house, you can actually have this CMA as part of your board. You guys know how we've made the boards, you know, with all the detailed information, the neighborhood information. When you click this, it's actually, you can have the whole thing for CMA, and it has all the comps, which you guys are gonna be able to see like how much professional this thing looks. So there's the Zillow reviews, just a few of our reviews. There's the map, summary. Now you got the details to each comp, inside and outside photos. See, this one's, they're active right now. Here's our only competition, and they're stretching for that 1449. That's kind of up there. I don't know if that one's gonna, and that one's been on for how many days? 5 days. I mean, it's got a decent amount of updates. So if we do a lot of, you know, updates, maybe we can get closer to the pricing. But here's the pending, which they're 6 days on the market for 1195. That's, they're listing right. Knowing this area, this has very little light updates. This one has a little bit of updates, and that one sold for $1 million spot on. This one's 1230, and they've had light updates.
Great deal for an open house.
Oh, yeah. Online valuation. Here's our suggested list price. Now we can talk about our 5-step marketing plan and what I'm going to do. Here's intelligent pricing and timing. Value your home. Okay, so there is the CloudCMA portion. We've got our CMA done. Now it's time to jump in and get the BMA. We need a buyer market analysis to go with this. So in order to do that, let me get that part of that address real quick.
So
Oh,
you do that on the buyer tour here, or you go on?
nope,
the-
I'm gonna show you in a second. So if you needed to email this full report, you can actually click on this email report and put in who's it going to. Here's the subject. It automates and makes the subject. It's going to be CMA for that address, and it says your comparative market analysis report is ready. You can do the live report too, so that's a way to do it. And you can send from your email app if you wanted to, and it pulls it into your email if you wanted to do it that way. Either way, you can do it, and it'll give a preview. This is what it looks like. Okay, so what we're going to do next is go back to your My Desk. And from your My Desk, we're going to click on our buy side. Let's hope things are working again, because they had to do an update to buy side. Oh, man. Well, let's see if it'll work, because it's the BMA is still there. So click on BMA. Okay, and we're going to enter in that address. Let the system find it. Go to the next steps. And it pulls in that detailed information again. Okay, we're gonna hit next. Okay? Now, this is a very important part to when you're doing this. So in this section right here, you could have up to maybe 6 different circles showing. But it only gives you, this one only has 3. The max amount you can choose from is 3. So we need to select each one of these. If you don't click and select them and turn these green, they don't show up at all. So make sure you select all of these, and let's give the value range. So we said 1, 1, 5, 0, 1, 2, 3. Whole numbers only. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's the value range in which we thought it was going to be. We're going to hit generate PDF, and now it's going to pull the public data, the buyer data. It's going to generate the report and automatically download the report. When we get done with this PDF, we are also going to print it in color, double-sided, and on the nice flyer CMA paper. So that's what you got to do each one of these. Might take a little bit. All right, it is finished. It's automate, and it's going to show. I'm gonna have to stop my screen share so you guys can see in Zoom because it does that weird thing. Stop share. Let me share again. And choose our PDF this time. And this will be the BMA. Move down there. All right. So here is the buyer market analysis. Okay. It's going to show these first 2 pages of information. Here's the real-time valuations.
Based on those 3.
Based on the ones we selected. You have to select 3. You could be, when you get and you pull this up, once in a while, there might be 6 circles to choose from. It all depends on where's the property and which one of the systems of the AVMs, you know, the automated valuation models pulls that listing in. It just depends. So here's the value range, but now you actually get the buyer heat map. How hot is that area in active searches in the last 90 days? It's not super duper hot. Last 90 days, these little areas have been a lot hotter. So keep that in mind. We'll see what that relates to when we get to the next section down here. So here's the online activity in the last 90 days. It says 31,045,715. Does that mean there's 31 million buyers searching? No. This is a count of total searches. You could have one buyer that did 100 different searches, right? In 90 days. They could do way more than that. They could have searched like 300 times. It's actually counting everything, all online activities in Washington state. The next of the upside down pyramid is 590,427 online activities within a 5-mile radius of our subject property. Next is, it breaks it down even further to 11,366 searches for online activities within a 5-mile radius and within the home's price range. You guys see the difference of last 90 days? Now it breaks it even down further to 2,183 searches for online activity within a 5-mile radius and within the home's price range, looking for up to a 3-bedroom home. How many bedrooms does this subject property have? Do you remember? 3. It was 3 bedroom. It matches what that house is. Okay. And then it shows you by price range. Mostly people are, you know, what most searches were happening in the 90 days, and also for how many bedrooms. This actually says 48%, we're looking for a 4+ bedroom. Isn't that good to know? That's actually, our property only has 3, right? So most people in the area are searching for a 4-bedroom. That gives you a lot of insight, doesn't it? How many other listing brokers came to that appointment and told the seller this information? Probably not many. And then you have the opportunity for, here are some buyers that are looking right in this zip code, right? And it gives you matched buyers in John L. Scott footprint who have property tracker accounts. So these are all different buyers who are searching. The thing is, you can tell any of these, like some of these have a really weird price range. Like this one, you see how this says, I want 2 bedrooms, 2 bath plus, and they'll look at anything from, 474 to 1.75 million. That's definitely a safe search. I mean, that's something a little more defined. This one says 347 to 11 million, but there's no bedrooms, no baths. What does that tell you? That person's probably just hopping around looking at everything and they're not quite defining their searches.
So is there any way you can exclude some of those?
No, you can't change any of this at all. It's going to bring you and serve you the 12. Well, however many, it's only going to fit 9 on, because it's only going to give you 1 page. But the cool thing is, no matter what, is how many's in this circle. You'll be able to tell the seller, as soon as we list your property, I'm going to reverse prospect to all 12 of those buyers. Because there's a possibility that your home is a match for them. Because they have definitely been looking in the last 90 days right around your home. Now, you can't see who the buyer's names are because it says the buyer's ID is 7548351. But when we get into buy side, and let's see if the system's working. Oh, here we go. Does Troy have any active listings right now? I don't see the listing showing again. I might have to reach out to them because they did updates. And I am not seeing. Yeah, I don't see listings. It's active right now. Go back. Yeah, it's not showing it. That's weird. I'm gonna have to let them know. You should be able to use your buy side though to reverse prospect. Yeah, it's actually not even showing enough of the items. Let me log out. I'm gonna move out of Troy's account real quick. Let me stop my share again. Click to see what my buy side is saying. So I'm gonna get to mine. Yeah, see, I don't know why his it's not saying dashboard on his. Nope, it's not showing the dashboard.
Yeah.
Oh, now it's showing mine. You should be able to see the listings. I have no listings right now, but you should be able to click on that and click on the listing, and then it's gonna show you the list of, I'm just gonna have to let broker care know that it's still offline. They were doing some updates last week, and for some reason, it has not come back up online. All right, we'll have to save that one for another day. All right. We've got our CloudCMA done. We've got our BMA done. They're both printed in color, front and double-sided. on the nice flyer paper. Now we've got that ready and organized. We do have the Uni Binds. Amy, how much are these now? 10? I don't remember.
We don't have that many left.
Not that many left. Well, we're supposed to be getting more soon. According to corporate.
I have to verify the pricing because was it 14? I think it's 14.
Was it 14?
Yeah.
$14 and then the cost of your color copying, right? You put in your CloudCMA first. And then second, add in that BMA at the back. So then you can actually go over this portion, you know, with the seller. Then put it into the Unibind. You're gonna use the machine. And gonna bind the whole thing into the book. Josh Hall bought out every last one he could because he knows every single time he gives this, you know, to a seller. And you know, has anybody not used these yet? Or you have not used one yet? Or use one,
No,
and
like-
it'll knock the socks off the sellers.
I'm still learning this business.
Yeah, but these,
Yeah, kids.
I mean, when you hand this to a seller and you feel it's like a soft touch cover.
Oh, that is nice.
Look at that.
Here,
The nice.
yeah.
Feel that, Moose.
One day, one day.
One day.
You
We
take
have
that out
goals,
of the
don't
black
we?
box if you want
Yeah.
more. I-
So every single office should have the Unibind machines. We've got some covers left. We don't have a ton.
I'm buying.
So
But first.
make sure you get some, you know, but this seriously would make a difference. So many people, when they see this, they're blown away, like, this is mine? Like you made a book for me? It takes your marketing and your presentation to a whole nother level compared to what most people give a seller. Cause you guys know what most of the time sellers are left with? Right here, baby. CMA one line. There you go. You got your actives, your pendings, and your solds. That's what they typically give a seller. They're like, here you go. I think it's worth this stuff. But when they get that book, they're just like,
Well, that book's not customized.
the book, you can get these customized. It costs a lot.
Like a
They're
one-time fee.
expensive. A one-time fee up front and then your yeah. Then you have to order so many before they'll actually do it. But yeah, you can. In fact, Tony's got a friend that can do that. All right, soft covers are the best, baby. That's what Tony said. Yeah,
Those books really do help because every time John L. Scott sold me, I still have mine.
you still have your books?
I still have my books and I bought a lot of homes and the other people that came to my house trying to sell
See
me
it?
something, they come give me this little folder. You know what I do? I put it underneath somewhere and I forget about it and I end up throwing it away in the recycle because it's just paper to me.
Yeah.
I keep all my, from John L. Scott, so yeah.
Yeah, I know, one of the brokers for their VIP clients, like every year on their home sale anniversary, they do one of these. And then they go bring it to their client. Every year. And when this broker actually went to go present to their family, they actually said, we got a catalog. Cause they've been getting these for years. There's like 9 of them on the shelf and they literally had them all lined up on the shelf and our broker was blown away, like, oh, they kept them all together and stuff like that. And I don't know, it's pretty damn impressive.
I keep mine in my safe deposit
I'm getting
box.
this-
Really? That's awesome.
Is that getting this one?
All right, you guys, that is it for today.
Thank you.
Hopefully, you learned a lot and that you're gonna utilize this to your,
Advantage.
full advantage and full potential. All right, thanks for making it. We will see you on the next one. Do not miss, my, transaction desk class. Because that's gonna tie in everything for not only, being able to kind of like do your paperwork right from after doing this, but there's gonna a lot of tricks and tips to use transaction desk, office clauses, and Authentisign the proper way. So have a good week and stay warm. Talk to you guys later.